Hello ladies and gents, Bushman here and welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be taking a look at some useful tips and tricks for solo players and small groups starting out in Last Oasis. As most of you currently playing the game will have realised that it can be quite punishing playing solo or in a small group, so I'm hoping that this video will help you stay out of harm's way and be able to farm efficiently and learn to pick your fights. I've been playing with a small group of friends between 3 and 4 of us, and just yesterday we lost everything to a well-geared clan whose timing was absolutely perfect, and it was down to us making a very poor decision of deploying a base in a busy area and subsequently getting raided and losing everything. That being said, let's not beat about the bush and jump straight into it.
Vasty scallywags. Bring him from the yard,
Tip 1. Use this time you have been given. Stay in the starting area until level 20 and use as much of the time as you need to familiarise yourself with the combat, crafting, grappling hook and walker. Practice makes perfect, and the number one priority will be to practice blocking attacks from the Rupus. If you can master the art of blocking attacks, which is easier said than done in Last Oasis, this will increase your survivability threefold. It might be enough for you to exhaust your opponent and give you an opportunity to run if they outgear you, or give you the opportunity to land some big power attacks and win the fight. Tip 2. Spiderman Has Nothing On You. Second then is to find the woodland area, normally close to a water source. Here you'll find tall trees and you can practice using your grappling hook to gain massive speed boosts. This will come in handy when you're on the higher difficulty maps trying to get away from larger groups of players or hard NPCs. I would highly recommend putting your attribute points into stamina and mobility and upgrading to the fast action grappling hook as soon as possible. Tip 3. Colin McRae For the day. Third then, it's going to get some practice in driving the walker. Craft the dinghy and take a good look at the upgrades available for the vehicle and get it upgraded to at least tier 1 before you start to engage other players. Not only will this give you added protection and to store more equipment and water, it will add massive speed boosts and maneuverability to allow you to outflank your target or escape if necessary. The torque upgrade is really worth doing, as you can make your escapes up steep inclines that larger ships can't. Step 4. There's a moose in my house. Once you have a dinghy crafted, you could start to think about making a small base, as the storage space on the dinghy allows this, whereas the Firefly doesn't. A base adds a lot more mobile storage and a lot more protection to your items. It's quite an effort to make a base as a solo player, as the panels and doors require a lot of fibre and wood, but once you've found a safe location with a lot of resources, it shouldn't take you too long if you make a few scythes and a decent axe. Rule number 1 in making a base is to have your loot boxes spread out behind different doors and entry points in the base. Don't just make one door and an open floor plan. You want it to make as difficult as possible for potential raiders to get all your items. I'll be making a separate video on base building in the near future, so I don't want to spend too much time on it today, but the fundamental points are multiple doors and multiple loot rooms, and only deploy your base when you're in a safe location, as the wood bases are easy for a clan to raid. An important point to note is that if your ship is damaged by an enemy player, you cannot pack your base away, so don't get caught with your pants down. Tip 5. Knowledge is power. Learn the basics in the tech tree before you travel to higher difficulty maps. You want to be able to craft basic weapons and armor and some basic upgrades for your walker. The tutorial does a fantastic job of teaching you this anyway, and it's quite self-explanatory. Tip 6. Technical mastery. If you want to learn and craft items quickly, I would strongly suggest learning the ballista and harpoon, as this will enable you to open the locked boxes found around the desert areas of the map. These boxes can contain up to 25 fragments, and it's an extremely fast and effective way of learning all available crafting items and will snowball you into stronger weapons, armor, walkers and defenses. Tip 7. Farm away from your walker. As a solo player, you'll be relying on a lot of terrain. In the high resource areas, there's a lot of foliage, vantage points, hills and valleys which you can use to your advantage. I find that parking my walker up a hill in a valley and retracting the wings to keep it out of sight, then travelling on foot to surrounding Rupu camps at the bottom of the hill. You can gather your materials whilst keeping an eye out for approaching clans, and if they are heading your way, you can hide in bushes, up trees, or even the straw huts made by the Rupus. If your walker is well hidden, clans will not be looking out for anyone in the area. It also gives you enough time to assess the situation, and if you're outnumbered, you can simply stay put until the danger passes, or if you're feeling brave, you can catch them by surprise. Tip 8. Stay calm and carry on. Any successful PvPers out there will tell you the golden rule is a calm approach. The more you panic, the more mistakes you'll make, so although there's a lot at stake in this game, keeping a cool head is the best thing you can do on these types of games. Rage and salt does not help you in any way, shape or form, so if you are one of these players, try and teach yourself to stay calm during fights and don't rage at your teammates if you lose. Pick yourself up and learn from your mistakes. It's very handy recording your gameplay and looking back over PvP encounters to see where you went wrong and what you can do better next time. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm always calm during PvP encounters, but what I will tell you is that every time I have panicked or raged during an encounter, 99% of the time I will have lost the fight, whereas the success rate from a calm approach is much higher, so something to keep in mind. Tip 9. Die hard or die trying. If you're one of them players that likes to hoard loot, there is going to come a time you will get raided and defeated. If you've got huge amounts of armor and weapons stashed away but like to go out farming naked with a beat stick, you're not going to get any better at the game and will consistently lose fights. If you have the equipment to challenge another geared player, use it. Enjoy the items you've worked hard to craft. Have fun with it, and if you lose, you lose. You will learn a lot more than running in and dying to a fully geared player over and over again. Tip 10. Build a community. Finally then, engage with the people in chat. Help other solo or small groups out, and you may find yourself building a larger clan of your own. This genre is normally filled with toxic basement dwellers who will troll people out of the game or make people quit. We can all change this by giving people a helping hand if they require it, and it'll make that person's experience better. Forming alliances and helping other players out will bring a more positive experience to the game. Of course, it won't get rid of the toxicity completely, but it makes all the more worth it when you defeat a Zerg that has been roaming around and dominating the map for several weeks. So there you have it, ladies and gents, 10 useful tips for solo players and small groups. Despite seeing the odd Zerg here and there, the game so far has been so much fun and I'm looking forward to future content of the game. If it runs this well, despite a few server hiccups here and there, the future of the game is looking very promising. If you enjoyed the video or it helped you in any way, please leave a comment, like and subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon and never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.